Hello everybody, this is WarriorDan, and today we're kicking off an all-new series, where we take a look at all the latest gaming and tech-related news. So without further ado, let's get into it. First up in the news, Valve bans infamous game developer, Digital Homicide. This is after Digital Homicide attempted to launch a lawsuit, suing over 100 Steam users for assault, libel, and slander, in response to overwhelmingly negative reviews left by Steam users on the official Steam pages for Digital Homicide's games. Digital Homicide is a small game development team that has built up an overwhelmingly negative reputation online among gamers for producing shovelware, or in other words, poorly optimized games that were rushed out the door far before they could be considered complete. Quite possibly the most infamous example of this being the Slaughtering Grounds, a first-person horror shooter game which was met with wave after wave of criticism from gamers and gaming media online for featuring horrible graphics, almost completely unusable controls, as well as unaltered Unity store textures and assets. Instead of responding to the criticism being hurled at them and addressing some of the game's bugs, Digital Homicide decided to go on the offensive and start attacking their attackers. Most notably, YouTube gaming critic Jim Sterling. Digital Homicide launched a defamation lawsuit against Sterling, claiming Sterling's criticism of them was unsubstantiated and could be considered libel. In other words, they were offended because Jim Sterling hurt their feelings. They are now seeking $10 million in damages. Reportedly, in regards to the more recent lawsuit between Digital Homicide and the 100 Steam users, Digital Homicide is seeking a total of $18 million in court for damages, claiming that the negative reviews did irreparable damage to their reputation as a company. Now personally, in regards to the lawsuit between Digital Homicide and Jim Sterling, I do believe Sterling has a right to voice his opinions and criticize anything he wants to, as long as said criticism remains objective and does not cross the line into personal attacks. Given what Sterling actually said in his history of poking fun at them, as opposed to openly making threats or other kind of violent material, I do think Sterling is going to win that case, because I think a lot of what he says falls under fair use, specifically the clause about review and criticism. If you look at copyright law, almost anyone is allowed to criticize anything as long as they don't go too far with it, and I don't believe he did. Going back to the massive lawsuit against the 100 Steam users, I'm not so certain. Again, people have a right to express their opinions, even if you don't agree with them, because we live in a free and open democracy. However, that said, harassment and threats of violence should be taken seriously, and anyone who posted violent threats in the comment section or any review section against another person, even if that person is a dishonest, despicable game developer, that person should be held accountable for their threats in a court of law. So if anyone is threatening the life of the developer or their immediate family, then that developer does have a right to defend themselves and their loved ones in court. So I'll be interested to see how this plays out. That's all there is for this story. On to the next story. Valve, the company behind Steam, recently made a major change to their Steam review score system, which made it so that if you added a game to your Steam library via a Steam key from a third party, such as g2a.com or another third-party site where you buy Steam keys, you would be unable to have your review of the game be featured on the store page of that game. Your review would be buried beneath those of people who have bought the game directly from Steam, thereby forcing a lot of people to buy games from Steam and discouraging people from buying from third parties. Additionally, your review would not have any impact at all to the overall review score of that game, making your opinions near worthless. Needless to say, as if I have to say it, this feature did not go over very well with the PC gaming community and the gaming press. Everyone had a bit of a field day with the news, until finally Steam had to come out and formally make a public statement. And in addition to that, Steam removed this feature, and instead added options that would allow users to better filter reviews. That way, for example, if you wanted to only see the reviews from people who bought the game on Steam directly, you could. Now, I'm all for consumer choice. If you want to filter out certain kinds of reviews you don't want to see, just go for it. As long as the system allows anyone to post a review, as long as it falls within certain boundaries, that's all I ask for. A free and open market. However, when Valve initially made this move, it wasn't a free and open market. It silenced a lot of people many of whom had legitimate things to say about the game. When you silence a certain demographic of the community and make it platform exclusive, then you're setting a very bad precedent. I honestly think this change was made by Valve intentionally, and it was not an accident. It was made as a way to discourage people from buying third-party Steam keys and only buying games directly from Steam itself. That's a pretty anti-consumer choice. There's not many other reasons I could see why this would be added. So it does make me very suspicious of Valve, and the direction they seem to be heading at the moment. But we're just gonna have to wait and see how things play out. But in any case, I will be paying close attention to this story, and if there is any update, I will be posting it in a follow-up video. That's it for this story, on to our next and final story. Blizzard, the developers behind games like Overwatch and World of Warcraft, have announced that they are renaming Battle.net, the desktop application required in order to play Blizzard titles. Soon, Battle.net will be renamed Blizzard Tech. On the upside, Blizzard has confirmed it is not currently planning to make any dramatic changes to how the app works, and that all the changes are just cosmetic in nature. Blizzard has not confirmed when players can expect to see the new logo changes, but I think it's safe to assume that these changes will be added soon. I will be curious to see how the new logo looks. Blizzard did say that the Battle.net name was outdated, and that's the reason they wanted to change over to Blizzard Tech, which they felt better represented what they are trying to do with their brand right now. But as usual, I will provide future updates when they are known. That's it for this video. I will try to make these videos on at least a monthly basis, possibly more often. We're just gonna have to wait and see. This is the first of a few different kinds of videos I plan to start uploading to my channel. I have another new series I will be launching soon, which you may see as soon as this weekend, or sometime early next week. Before we wrap up this video, a huge shout out to Jack Thompson, who was kind enough to help edit this video's template, and add all the necessary text seen in this video. The template used in this video was made by Tactical Lion Designs, who I've worked with many times in the past, and have made a lot of my graphics, including my new intro. As always, please do share your opinions in the comments below. Tell me, what do you think of Digital Homicide suing game critics? Are they right, or just plain crazy? What's your stance on Valve rewriting their entire Steam review system in order to stop people from buying third-party Steam keys? Do you think that they had the right to do it and it was a good idea? Or do you think that they stepped out of line and betrayed their customers' trust? I'm curious to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. For now, this is WarriorDan signing out. Please do give this video a like, and if you enjoyed any of what I've said here in this video, please do consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more content like this from me in the future. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.